Hello. So yes, I just, what's been going on since yesterday, right? Yeah, I just did a video yesterday. I liked my cold Tervis cup so much that I got at Salty Yarns that from Amazon I got a mug and it does keep the coffee hot. My coffee tends to get cold in the morning because I'll pour it and then I'll start doing stuff. So, yeah. So I thought I'd come on. My job starts late again today. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. Yesterday it didn't start until 3:30 and I worked until like 11:30. That was fun. Yeah. Today was the first day. And it's funny how you don't notice stuff about yourself. I looked in the mirror, it was yesterday actually. I looked in the mirror and I was like, holy shit, I've lost like 90% of my eyebrows and eyelashes. And the eyebrow thing, I don't know how I didn't notice that. See, this looks pretty good, right? That's because I used an eyebrow kit. I don't think I did a bad job. It's powder. It's totally powder. And then you put like this gloss stick over it to like hold it, to keep it so it doesn't rub off. Because I felt like I was starting to look really weird with no eyebrows. There was like just a couple little strands and I was like, oh my good God. How did I not notice that? I don't know how I didn't notice that. But yeah, let's recap today already. It's 11:28. I had radiation this morning at 8:15. Now, my appointment, the appointment slots are 15 minutes, meaning mine is 8:15 to 8:30. I normally get there about 8:10, and it takes me like a minute to change because I just have to change from, take off the waist up, put a gown on, put my stuff in a locker. Well, the text didn't call me until like 10 minutes after my appointment time. Because what happens is the guy that's before me, you learn the routine. I mean, this is my 4th week going. You know what's happening. You know the routine. So the gentleman that's ahead of me comes and gets his stuff from his locker, says good morning. And then I'm like, okay, cool. They're going to call me in like a minute because that's what usually happens. No. I see them all walk by. And then like 10 minutes go by, I see them all walk back and they have coffee. Yeah. Yeah, they have coffee and who knows what else. And so they finally call me. And by this time now, everyone else that's behind me is in the waiting room. And they're like, what are they running late? Finally, I was like, what the hell is going on back there, right? So they come and get me and I say, you guys running late today? And I said it in kind of an irritated voice because I was irritated that I sat there 10 minutes past my appointment time. The beginning of my time. Well, she's like, oh yeah, we're sorry. Right. So I go in there and they're like, oh, your appointment's short today. Like you're going to have a short session, which it was. It was only like 4 minutes. And that got me to thinking. They probably knew my appointment time was like 4 minutes, right? So they probably figured, oh, as long as we fit it in between that 8:15 to 8:30 time span, it won't throw any other appointments off, and we can go get coffee. I told my husband, let that happen again. That's not right. It's not. It's not right, especially tomorrow when I have to go to chemo right after that appointment, so there can be no playing around. Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. So I come home and, I'm doing house stuff. Every morning I make both beds, do laundry, feed the dog, the dishwasher, pulling out stuff for dinner. I am sometimes making tea for my husband. I'm making myself breakfast, doing our banking because I reconcile our account every day. I'm checking mail. I'm going through email. I mean, I'm doing a whole slew of stuff every single morning before I even start work. So I come out here and I know I'm going to be in the kitchen for a while making my breakfast, blah, blah, blah. So I always bring my iPad out and watch Flosstube when I'm doing stuff like that. So I open the refrigerator and I know, everyone that has a refrigerator most likely has like that vegetable crisper drawer. Well, we don't really keep vegetables in it per se. We'll keep like lettuce and tomato, but sometimes I keep my coffee in there, like the coffee bag. We've kept bacon in there, hot dogs, all kinds of stuff, right? Oh my good God. So I open it up. I don't open up the drawer, I open the refrigerator, and I look down and I'm like, why is there an inch of like brown, rust-colored liquid in the vegetable crisper drawer? Hot dogs we had in there that we had not cooked had grown moldy and started to ferment. So it was hot dog liquid. Oh my God. I was like, this is not happening right now. You guys heard about the poop incident yesterday. So then I spend 10 minutes. Luckily, I can pull out the entire drawer. I mean, we had apples in there, tomato. I had a whole bunch of stuff that I had to pull out, rinse off, dump the inch of liquid. I sprayed the whole thing with bleach, wiped it out. I was like, okay, maybe God is giving me all of these like irritating tasks to change my attitude about them. Because recently it has seemed like my life is one big irritation. I don't want to be like that. And I thought, maybe I need to have a different attitude about those things, right? Kind of hard though when you come home to a house full of poop and then the next day you come, inch full of hot dog liquid. I was like, I said, okay, this is great. And then my birthday is next Thursday. So my husband calls me and he's like, well, we have a dilemma. And whenever he says that, I'm thinking it's something with his daughter, like just some scheduling issue or something. But he says, I have to work overtime on your birthday. Oh, that's no big deal, right? Because like a couple weeks ago, I told him, I said, this year, I'm not feeling it. With everything going on health-wise, I just was not even feeling like celebrating or anything like that. I said, the celebration really for me will come like New Year's Eve because my last chemo treatment, my last treatment period besides like normal follow-up appointments is December 29th. So let's celebrate then, right? Get fucking drunk off our ass or I don't know. Don't have to do that. But you know what I mean. So he's like, I have to be back to work at 11 p.m., so, which basically means he'll get home at 3:30 and like try to lay down, right? We were going to go get sushi. I love sushi. And I'm like, you know what? It's really not a big deal. He's like, well, we can go out Friday and do cake. And I went, no. I wasn't trying to sound like an asshole, but I was like, I don't know. Once the day passes, it's like it's done. I don't know. Am I the only one that feels like that? So I was like, no, I don't even need a cake. I've been trying not to eat too much of that stuff. So I text Jill and tell her the whole thing, and she's like, if your husband wants to take you out for your birthday, given all the shit that you've been dealing with, let him do it. Basically, that's what her text said. She said she was putting on her bitch hat, which I thought was really funny. But she made a good point. She's always right. She's like the sane, reasoning part in my brain. And that's one reason why we're friends, right? Because let's face it, we've seen my videos. I can be erratic, cuckoo, nutso, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how I feel next Friday. What's nice is I'm probably going to be off work. I took off my birthday anyway because regardless, I know I'm not working. Even if I just sit here and stitch all day, I'm not working. Minus going to radiation. But my employer is taking 2 vacation days Thursday and Friday. So I'll be off next Thursday and Friday. And ideally, what I would have loved to have done is have gone away. camping or something. But radiation, I couldn't. But next year, my birthday will be on a Friday, so I'm already going to plan to tell my husband, we're doing something. We're going away next year. But yeah, so I'll see how I feel next Friday. Okay, 10 minutes in, no stitching talk. I wanted to show you, I did start a new project yesterday. Oh, I did want to show you one product that I bought, health-wise. Since starting chemo back in January, I have had really, really bad heartburn and acid indigestion and sour stomach. It's like everything I ate bothered me. And even when stopping the weekly chemo, I still had it. And taking like Pepcid and stuff, it didn't really help. So I was like, I remember my grandfather, who by the way is 90 and in really good health. He has been taking apple cider vinegar every day, drinking it, a tablespoon. And I'm like, let me look it up. So I did some research yesterday, and people take it like a tablespoon with some water before each meal or when you feel symptoms coming on. Now, I've only been taking it like a day and a half, and here's the one I got. Bragg Organic. You have to shake it up because there's like stuff in the bottom. It's worked. It's worked. I'm stunned that something very easily that I can just drink a tablespoon of it and drink like a glass of water after it has helped my heartburn. Helped it quite a bit. Because the research that I found, it says that most people think you're getting heartburn because you're having too much acid, when in fact, it actually is that you're not producing enough acid. So what is being produced is your stomach is churning, and it's like working overtime basically. So it's pushing it up into your esophagus. And I was like, wow, so this gives you acid. Yeah. So recommend that, to at least try it if you have heartburn like I do. Because, excuse me, there I was burping right there. You know, I was starting to cut out like pizza, spaghetti, just anything that gave me heartburn. So eating more healthy probably wouldn't hurt either though, right? Like more fruits and stuff. Okay, so stitching. I had started stitching the Ink Circles Turtles all the way down yesterday, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I had gotten this piece of 14 count opalescent Ada from Fantasy Dyed Fabrics, and she doesn't name her fabrics because basically they're all one-offs, they're solos. But here's what I started. Yep, the Prairie Moon, the red and the black. Black DMC, Threadworks, this hot pink color. Now, like I said, I worked till 11:30 yesterday, so I was determined to get some stitching in now before the night ended. So here's what I got done. Look at that fabric though. You can't even see the sparkle. You can a little bit there, but isn't that pretty? Isn't that going to look so awesome? And yeah, baby Wolverine, because you know this is how I've been feeling lately. Delicious threads. So yeah, that's my small start. Like I said, my job does not start until 2:30, which is like another 3 hours almost. So I'm going to try to get some stitching done after this video. So that's my start. But yeah, I mean, look at the pink. Jesus. Yeah, it's going to look good. Okay. And yeah, I actually have these on my Stitchmate squirrel rods instead of my quantum frame because these are so much lighter and I just wasn't feeling the quantum frame yesterday. But I've been trying to make some plans for future projects, which is hilarious because I change my mind like every day, as we see in my videos. But I wanted to show you the fabric I had gotten yesterday from the Stitching Post. One of the pieces I got was 16 count. They're all Picture This Plus. 16 count, this is Mediterranean. It's hard to tell. It's like a light white with some purple accents. I actually thought this would look good on it. The plum pudding. Now, I looked up the silk pack today. It's $54. That's actually not too bad for threads, for silk. So, may stitch that on it. May not. May stitch the Purple Mermaid, the Tesoro Mia. I don't know. But I also got this one, the cauldron. And these are all, that was 16 count Ada. This is 14 count. I really like this fabric. This is definitely, I think I want to stitch the Cottage Garden Samplings, the Halloween alphabet on it. Yeah, love this fabric. So it's funny because stitching on 14 count, it just looks so big compared to 16 count, but I'll get used to it. And then finally, the Heroic fabric. This fabric is awesome. This is such a beautiful neutral fabric with hints of blue and green, blue and pink, that I'm actually considering stitching. Now, I bought this pattern a little while ago, but I don't think I showed you guys. Keslin's, and it's called Corners. Now, they use Picture This Plus Ancient. I love that, though. But I thought that I could stitch this on this Heroic fabric with this. Wouldn't that look awesome? Now, I had originally set this blue thread aside for Dragons of Sumatra, but I think I might actually stitch Dragons of Sumatra in red. But yeah, I thought that would look really good. I love that blue. That is such a brilliant, beautiful blue. So I got that. And then the Dragons of Sumatra I thought would look really good on that Heroic fabric also. And it's funny because they also stitched this on Ancient by Picture This Plus. Maybe I need to get a piece of that Ancient. It's like a gold. But I'm either want to stitch, so okay, imagine that on this Heroic fabric. I either want to stitch the dragons with red, which it would look good, or the orangey, I think I might actually do this one. The devilish one, the orangey red one that I'd gotten for Garden Fair. Maybe I should get a piece of that Ancient fabric and stitch the Dragons of Sumatra on that. Because gold with this would probably look really good. So yeah, just some future considerations because I'm going to concentrate on the red and the black. And hoping I keep liking it. Because like I said, stitching on 14 count is a little bit different than what I'm used to. But I think the coverage is okay. I mean, I could still see some of the fabric through it. But from far away, the coverage looks pretty good. I'm holding it out. And if you look at it, you know, here, the coverage looks good. Yeah. So that's it. I'm going to upload this video, do some stitching, wait for my job to start at 2:30. So I hope you all have a good week. Who knows? Might be back tomorrow. Although I do have radiation and chemo tomorrow, so probably not. But who knows what the day will bring. So happy stitching, everyone. I'll chat at you later.